Okay. For the past, well, actually it's been several years and there's been several people involved with our research into our tribal history. We've tried to find out exactly who we are. Backing up, my husband was going to get fussed at because he's talking. Teacher said be quiet. We were told a few years back, but I'll start with this. Of our tribe, and right now we're at like 260 some members, more or less. And of that, about 80% have had their DNA tested and have DNA backing up. Okay, they're Native American ancestry. So everybody, about 80% of that 260 people, everybody that's been tested does have Native American DNA. And the average is somewhere around 12–13%. Okay? We know our Sizemores and the folks, the other people, we do have other people from other last names in our tribe, but we all know that they were. But we can prove we are. Because we have the DNA that says we are. But anyway, so we were trying to find out exactly who we were. Well, there came this lady along, and I'm not going to say any names, who presents herself as a real expert on Sizemores. Okay? And she decided that we were Appomattox because the first place you see the Sizemore name is up in Virginia near where the Appomattox people lived. And she was part of the Sizemore DNA project. And they decided that we were Sizemore. They were wrong. I mean, yes, we're Sizemore. That we were Appomattox. They were wrong. We are not. What our research team has done is we have several people on the team. We have searched and searched, and we've come up with what we really are. Okay? And what our research has finally shown us is the fact that we are part of the Catawba Confederacy. Now, Confederacy is with the Catawbas. There's a Catawba tribe like it's in South Carolina. Okay? Then there were other tribes through history who joined with the Catawbas, sort of protection, for numbers, for whatever. We come from one of those tribes that joined in with them. We were originally, at least the Sizemores were, some of you were something a little different. We all ended up together, I'll get to that in a minute. We're Tutelos. Okay? And there's evidence that proves that beyond the shadow of doubt from our research team and what we found. It's also what several noted authorities have found, that we are Tutelo Catawba. One of those authorities would be Chief Rick. There is Heriberto Nick Dixon. Dr. Heriberto Dixon also shares that opinion. Richard Carlson, James Nickens. These guys are the famous guys who've spent their life's work researching southeastern United States Native Americans. They came to the same conclusion that we did. Another thing that brought us to this conclusion is we have some tribe members whose families have actually passed down the Tutelo traditions, rituals, the dress, the pottery, the pipe making, you name it. That family has practiced it since time before. Their story of who we are is Tutelo. Their story of how we got our name matches history perfectly. And I'm ready to say I'm 100% sure we're Tutelo Catawba. We were, and just like Chief Hathcock is Saponi Catawba. The Tutelo and Catawba, Tutelo and Saponi have been tied together even longer than with just the plain Catawba. Okay? And you were with us on the New River here, and they got stowed away. His group did. But anyway, get back to it. We get into the history, and I may have the chief here help me out. I told you guys that we could trace our history back as far as about 1100. And we are part of the Sioux.
Ohio Valley Sioux.
Ohio Valley Sioux. And just like the Sioux. You got the Sioux that are out west. Back in about 1100, I don't know why, Chief, You know
We,
what?
we all lived together in the Ohio Valley.
Right, and
That's where they moved.
we split. Part of the Sioux went west, part of them came east. We all spoke a dialect of the Sioux language. The Catawba, the Saponi, the Tutelo, help me out,
Akanichi,
Akanichi,
Duckano, Monacan, Waccamaw.
Sugaree, PD,
Sarah.
Sarah, or Sar. We're all came from the Sioux tribes that were originally in Ohio. In 1564, De Soto, the Spanish explorer, came through and first met with our people, okay, and traced where some of the tribes, well, he met with some of the tribes, moved from village to village. Later, in 1570, Juan Perdón came through also. I said that more French because I don't speak Spanish, but it's Spanish. Came through also and actually settled at one of our, and built a fort, a Spanish fort at one of our Catawba villages, very close to where I live now, my family lives now, called Gerard, okay? And there were Catawba, Tutelo, Saponi villages everywhere. In 1701, Lawson came through, and on his map, as well as meeting with the Indians that were down underneath down around Morgan, Hickory, Charlotte area, he came more up this way, and there are maps that show that he found the Tutelo living right where you're sitting in 1701, okay? There's some other evidence they have found, and this will be part of the pottery thing, but they have found pottery, the pottery that the Catawbas, which will be the way I'll be showing you today, that we make our pottery, has been found from South Carolina, all the way up along the headwaters of the Yadkin River, which kind of come through here, and go back down towards Surrey and Surrey and Stokes County.
Yeah.
And that pottery has been found up into here, along the headwaters where the North Fork and South Fork of the New River come together, here. So to archaeologists, that proves that we're all the same. We made the same pottery, we used the same materials, we used the same decorations. It was the same. So as far as science, I guess you want to say, we are. We're Catawba, happen to be Tutelo for us. From then, and I'm not going to get into all details, we are going to write up a paper, a book probably by the time we get done with it. And we have all these citing of these sources where we got the information from in different books, things we found, just different sources. We'll write it up, and it's going to be nobody's going to doubt when you tell them what you are. You can just say, and they say, oh, you're not, you're a good guy. Say, look right there, there's a book, go read it. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to be able to really, truly prove this. Seth, you want to say anything else? He's laughing at me.
No, I'm saying that's good. That's what we want, yeah.
Yeah, that's
We're
what we
going
want.
to say, here, go read this.
That's right, go read this. 'Cause how many
We'll have
times have
documentation.
y'all run into somebody that says, no, you're not, they're Cherokee. You're a Cherokee. You're a Cherokee. Oh, Lordy. Anyway. Back to it. And I'm going to speak for just the Sizemores right now, okay? I know we got other people that are not. And this will get to it. In 1712, the English established a fort supposedly for our protection in eastern Virginia called Fort Christiana. People from the Catawba, Saponi, Tutelo, and all those other tribes that he mentioned went there, okay? Including our ancestors, all of our ancestors. That's how we kind of all got together, all these very, very many tribes. I'm cutting this real short, and I apologize, Chief Rick. But when we get the stuff out there, you'll be able to read the whole story. But we were there together, okay? The Seneca came and attacked. We basically dispersed and left there. Some of us stayed down near, which is where the Hathcock stayed, along the Dismal Swamp in eastern North Carolina. Old Ned was there, our Sizemore people were there. We kind of stayed there. When we finally moved back with the Catawba back into North Carolina, south of here. The Revolutionary War came along. They were split. Some of the Catawba sided with the, and he did a whole speech on this a few weeks ago, up in Ohio, right?
Finley.
Finley, Ohio. Like I said, I'm cutting this real short. So the Revolutionary War came along and they were divided. The Catawba had always been really, really friendly with the colonists. Okay, they were trading with the colonists. Our people, the Zaponi, the Tutelo, the other tribes that were more back toward the north, had already been pushed off their land a bunch of times. Okay, and they weren't quite as trusting of the colonists, because those are the people coming in and invading and taking their land, kidnapping them and this kind of thing. So they decided, the British then promised them, well, if you'll help fight for us, we'll keep those old colonists away, and we'll set up a line right here, and nobody can go west of this line. And old Ned Sizemore, his son, I'm not sure about your ancestor. Which way did you say to go? Were they Tories? Do you know?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well, fought for the Tories. Okay. So they kind of split over these differences of opinion. When they came back after they had burned all their to the Catawba reservation where the Catawba were, they burned all their homes, all their crops, everything, and drove them off. That's when they moved right here. This is where they had been in 1701. They moved back to home. Okay, and they settled here, and they brought their friends with them, the Saponis, and who else?
Too low.
Well, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Well, the Catawba, the Tutelo, Saponi, and several other people from other tribes who become their friends because they've been together for 100 years now, came and they settled here after the Revolutionary War. And I'm leaving out, sir.
Came back here, set up the Revolutionary War. That's where you're at, right? I don't think there's anything else.
Okay.
I think you're good.
And from there, then, of course, you know, some of our ancestors moved on, still as a group, moved on back into West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, back to Ohio, Indiana, still going together. Okay? Some of them stayed here. And those of you who are from locally around here, you know, y'all have been here. But our people have been right here along this river from at least 1701. Our Tutelos have. There's evidence. And we've been here since we moved in 1100. Okay? So that's our story in a nutshell. So you can now tell people, if they ask you what tribe you're from, you are Tutelo Catawba. Now that brings us down to be working on getting recognized. Right now we're calling ourselves the Sizemore tribe of the New River. Because we knew we weren't Appomattox, we had to do something. We couldn't keep calling ourselves something we're not. When we get ready to apply, we'll probably have to change our name again because they expect you, they will not, I don't think they're going to recognize a tribe called Sizemore.
No.
No. So we will have to either just call ourselves Tutelo Catawba or Yesha, Tutelo, something. Yesha means Catawba. Tutelo actually means Catawba. And I left the part about the report out. But we will have to do it one more time, okay? But anybody got any questions for me? I talk loud. I hope everybody heard me. Y'all are so good. I'm not used to. There's nobody talking in the back of the room.
Where's the pop quiz?
We're ready.
Pop quiz, up 2 minutes.
I don't know what's problem.
Oh, I have to tell everybody, this is my grandson Jackson, and he is my beta. Yay! Aren't you?
If there's a leader, that's the alpha. And if there's a beta, that's the second person.
So he's
Alpha sits right there.
Okay, Rick, I'm gonna ask you, do you want to say just, we're gonna eat real quick, because the food, well, it's gonna be hard. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yes.
Hold on,
Yep.
okay, go ahead.
I won't keep you hungry though. Well, you know, first of all, the Harris family's doing a great job. Keeping you guys informed, forming this union that you have here with the Sizemore ancestors. But she forgot one thing. She's the descendant of a chief, Chief William Jackson. And William Jackson was a Catawba chief. He was born in 1700 and died in 1772. Excuse my voice. And then there was another chief before him, and he was a Catawba chief, and he is of Fort Christiana. His name was Chief Whitman of Tofkahi. It's a long name, like that. Let's write it out. And
I can't do that.
but anyway, can I say this about the Tulane and Saponi?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, anthropologists and historians consider the Saponi and the Tula the same. They had slightly different dialects, but they spoke the same language. When the Tula was in Indiana with Tecumseh, who was Shawnee, there was a confederacy there, and was fighting with the British against the Americans, War of 1812. What happened was, we met the Winnebago there, Winnebago Indians, and they spoke the same language as we did. The Tula and the Winnebagos could understand each other. And so, you know, we're just one group of the Great Sioux Nation. And we're not Southern Sioux. The Tula and Saponi, Occaneechi people are Northern Sioux. But the Catawba are Southern Sioux, but we came together as a family. And by 1785, all the Tula and Saponis were basically speaking Catawba or learning Catawba or alleging they were Catawba. When some of our families went to Ohio, that's what they recorded them as, is Catawba, not Tula, not Saponi. And when it says that the Tula and Saponi are extinct, I believe in anthropological terms, that doesn't mean that they're dead or gone. It just means that they joined the Catawba or they joined the Haudenosaunee. That's the Iroquois Confederacy, or the Chickasaw and the Chickasha, and some of the Creeks. That doesn't mean that they're gone. We're still here, or we would be standing and sitting and talking today. So you got to be careful what you read, because it's not all true.
Right, that's something important to remember. Somebody's going to tell you the Tula are extinct. No, they're not. We joined with these other tribes, and now we've come back. We're big enough now to come back as one unit, rather than being absorbed into something else. Is that a good way to do it?
Yes, I read the other day that they guesstimate there's about 100,000 of us.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, if you put all the groups together. Like my descendants come from the Halawa Saponi, Halifax County, North Carolina. I'm not a member because our families left before they became a state-recognized tribe. Mine went to Ohio. And one of the reasons they can figure out that we're Sioux is by our pottery that we left in Ohio, on the north side of the Ohio, right in the southern counties that engage with West Virginia, Kentucky area. So anyway, thanks for inviting us here today.
Thank you.
For lunch, we're having Indian tacos. There's beans, pre-fried beans, toppings. For dessert, we've got, there's also corn soup out, guys. The lady was bringing corn soup, could not come. You got chili beans, okay? You know what's on this cook, that's fine. I made, my husband spilled the sauce all over him. But anyway, that's what we got today. And then for dessert, we've got Indian fry bread. There's powdered sugar, honey, and strawberry jam, I guess it is, to go on top of that. And there's also a pecan cake. Okay, or dessert. The drinks, if we can get some strong guys to pull the drinks around here toward the end, so y'all can get a drink, and get a drinks all day long if you want. Cake tonight's free. We do have to charge you some for our stuff, because we have to buy all the food, but $7 a plate, kids under 12 eat free.
That's not cheap.
What? Well, if you go anywhere else and get an Indian fried bread, what are they? Just the fried bread will be like $7. Just it, no drink, no nothing. Okay, it is pretty good because we love you guys. All right, somebody be first. Pam, Seth. Where's Seth?
I'm gonna go back to
Oh, yes.
Which one?
Somebody come first. Somebody gotta be first. Come on.
Oh, I'll get it. And this is your camera, so you better watch after it. What you doing? I was videoing that. Plus I was getting the sound, which plus I had the other recorder going. Plus I got other stuff going I wanted to tell you about. Okay, just believe me, I got other stuff going. I got other stuff going you don't even see.
I know you tell me about that thing. I gotta go in there and come out there. I didn't have nothing like that sitting here.
And today is the 12th of August 2017, and this is the Sizemore reunion, and that's about it.